morning. First look with a breakdown time on the second to last day of 2025. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Again, I'm meteorologist Stephen Thomas, and for those of you just logging on for the very first time, and it's great to see you, especially if you're out from out of town. We again, holiday season continuing on, but maybe more importantly, here for the day today, you might be headed out to the Independence Bowl game out in Independence Stadium. Today's the day for that grand game in that stadium here in Western Shreveport, taking on or having a matchup between Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I love the name of that mascot, must I say. I truly do. And I love the field that Coastal Carolina has, teal. I think that's the uniforms they're also wearing here for the day today. Not to Louisiana Tech also down the road. That'll be a good matchup here for the day today. So hopefully enjoy it. We got a forecast for your Independence Bowl fun day here for your Tuesday, December 30th. In addition to that, New Year's is upon us. New Year's Eve is quite literally tomorrow. And then we'll see exactly how the conditions are going to fare around midnight here for tomorrow night. So lots of holiday forecasts here. Lots of important forecasts here coming up. That's what we really want to keep you first alert about that. Keeping you first alert, about both forecasts moving on by, again, for the Independence Bowl and for New Year's. That's why our exclusive content is mainly just focused on that. Lots of just important holiday forecasts between, again, the bowl game today, New Year's Eve tomorrow, New Year's Day, the day after that. Thankfully, most of our weather situation is pretty quiet, pretty tame around the Arklatex, which, believe it or not, is not really that good. Because we are in a little bit of a drought. Remind me, I'm going to get into that graphic a little bit later. But it is good for plans, and at least for hanging out outside. But just watch out for a little fire danger. We are in burn bans have been issued by specific counties and parishes around the Arklatex based on how dry our soil has got, and also because we're not really expected to get rain, quite frankly, here anytime soon. But there's still several changes in the temperatures to go over, as that rocky Arklatex roller coaster is still ongoing here over the next couple of days, even into the early part of 2026. So that's what we'll be tackling here for the day today. Again, for those of you that are on our YouTube page, feel free to leave a comment or question if you do have one at all during the entire forecast. So let's get going here for your Tuesday. Here is a live look out into downtown Shreveport, as I am a one-man band behind the scenes trying to get you set up with the graphics here for the day today. Again, a beautiful outlook in a Shreveport and Bossier. Not a cloud in the sky, even. A pristine blue skies. That's also the case all across Texarkana as well. I will say these cold days have at least given us some beautiful sights. And I know we had a good amount of fog and a good amount of cloud cover in our mornings last week. That kept us warm. This week, it has been nothing but beautiful mornings here for us each and every day so far this week through the Arklatex here for you. So for your what to wear forecast here, please bundle up here for today. A cold front came through on Sunday, left us immensely cold, especially yesterday, but that cold air still settling on in here for the day today to leave us cold even through the afternoon hours. Current temperatures out right now, it's 43 in Shreveport, 39 into Texarkana, 37 into Minden, 34 into Queen, 38 into Natchitoches. So temperatures still in the 30s, even at 10:30 a.m. Now, to be fair, Shreveport, the first spot to get into the lower 40s. It's a little bit of a good sign for game time specifically, because I believe we are ahead of schedule. Most of our forecasted temperatures up through lunchtime had us right around 40 degrees, but the fact that we're already up to 43 means we're rising a good bit here for the day today, and we could actually have our actual high temperatures exceed what we are expecting out of today's high temperatures, which is pretty much reaching around 50. But overall, our main message here across the next several days is looking forward to the big temperature swing in the other direction. We've already got the cold air in, but then it's going to fade away in the days ahead. By Friday, just 3 days away on January 2nd, we're going to be back in here with almost t-shirt and shorts weather again and get around the Arklatex. I will say, though, this warm stretch of air is not going to be like the one that hit us all of last week. Remember last week we had highs in the upper 70s, lower 80s day in and day out throughout Christmas week. That is not going to happen with this event. I do think we warm up into Friday a good bit, up to high temperatures above 70 degrees. We'll talk about actual highs in just a moment. But I don't think this is going to be lasting, A, as long, and B, I don't think it's going to be as warm, so to speak, heading into the first few days of January. But it does warm up from where we have been from Monday and where we are going here through the rest of the day today. So let's check out the future track temperature map here for you for the rest of the day today. Highs are expected to be in the upper 40s. I could expect some areas to maybe reach into the lower 50s here for this afternoon, but that's generous. Essentially, we have winds coming out of the north. We are warming up with the sunshine. Let me say that first and foremost. High temperatures to increase probably another 10 degrees from where temperatures are now. But what's limiting us from really skyrocketing our temperatures as much as they can into the afternoon is because we still have a breeze coming out of the north. Now, the winds aren't as bad here today as what they were over the past 2 days, but out of the little breeze that we do have, it is coming out of the north, still continuing to bring in just a little more colder air into place before trying to warm things up starting tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning, still cold. Off into the 30s you go here for the start of your Wednesday, here for the start of New Year's Eve. I will say, though, however, notice where we are in the 30s, mid to upper 30s. Many of you woke up into the 20s here this morning and lower 30s. So trying to warm up our mornings just a little bit steadily over the next couple days. Highs for tomorrow will reach up and above 60 degrees here for New Year's Eve during the afternoon hours. And then that's going to lead us into temperatures in the 40s as we cruise on into the first few hours of 2026. So here for long term, here's how it goes. Again, highs today pretty much right around 50 is where I'm expecting them. Then for tomorrow, up to 63 degrees. So taking a big jump up just between today and into New Year's Eve itself with highs into the 60s. And then 2 days later, even steadily making that climb more and more. And then you get Friday, where you have highs reaching into the, lower 70s. Back to t-shirt and shorts weather, as I said earlier, in just a matter of 3 days' time. Wild. But we'll say we do cool off a little bit more into the weekend. Weekend temperatures back down to the 60s. And what that is going to be a cold front coming on by for Friday. A weak one, though, that gets our highs from essentially the lower 70s on Friday down to the mid-60s here for Saturday and Sunday. It is a cold front, nevertheless. But it's going to be a dry one. It doesn't give us any rain. And it's just cooling off our highs by a solid 5 to 10 degrees here for the weekend to just keep our temperatures cool in for the afternoon. And still some chilly mornings there for your weekend coming up here for the first weekend of 2026. Now, again, that's the temperature outlook. Again, that's the biggest change of things around the Arklatex. If you take a look at the whole long-range future track, first of all, today, beautiful blue skies and sunshine. We will have some cloud cover coming back, and that'll be back here, it looks like, for Thursday and maybe a little bit of Friday morning. But that's it over the next week. Maybe another little round of cloud cover coming back here maybe for Sunday and Monday again. But you didn't see any shades of green in the Arklatex at all. The point is, over the next week or so, you can see this on the rainfall potential map. Yes, entire next week or so, we have no rain whatsoever. That goes, again, all the way through Monday of next week. Now, I will say, heading on into the 12-day forecast, which I might mention just a little bit, 12-day forecast, we do have a little bit of rain coming back into the picture then, but that's further on into January. Again, today through New Year's, through the weekend, and through into the early half of next week, things are still looking bone dry around the Arklatex, which will make our drought worse. So that's a full look at the forecast and all the details behind it. I gave you a little preview and already showed you a little bit of the Independence Bowl forecast in just then, but we're going to go extensively over the forecast here for the rest of the day today for Independence Bowl. We're going to go over your holiday forecast. I'm going to leave the summary of forecast day in, day out for the next 3 holiday days. After a quick commercial break, I'm going to go ahead and play a commercial break. We'll be right back after this. Stick around for the full holiday forecast after this. Welcome on back to the First Star Weather Breakdown again. Thanks for watching. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason here in the podcast center here for you with KSLA News 12. Again, we're about to give you the full rundown of how the holidays are going to go over the next 3 days. Again, between, if you want to count today is kind of a holiday if you're a Shreveport College football fan because, again, it's the Independence Bowl here in the Arklatex here for the day today. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve. The day after that, New Year's Day. We're going to go extensively over those 3 days. I kind of gave you a summary in the actual kind of science behind the details, what's been happening in terms of both the temperatures and the skies for the commercial break. But now this is kind of going into a kind of a list format now, if you will. All right, so let's get into it here for the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. First of all, beautiful blue skies and sunshine. No rain. That is going to be perfect. The only issue, if there is an issue, is the temperatures. It's going to be chilly. Again, it was very bitter cold here early this morning, but I will say temperatures have already picked up to 43 locally in Shreveport, and we're about just over 2 hours away from kickoff there at 1 p.m. Temperatures are expected to be in the upper 40s essentially throughout the game. I think maybe even by the end of the game, they might touch the lower 50s. So still sweater weather, but again, not the most cold. And we just have a tiny breeze coming out of the north. But the winds overall still on the calmer side of things throughout the game. So just bring out some sleeves, maybe a sweatshirt. And I think this is good sweater weather here through the Arklatex. Definitely not t-shirt and shorts by any means. But it should be a beautiful day. Enjoy it. Just a touch on the chilly side of things. Besides that, you're going to have some beautiful blue skies and sunshine that's trying to warm you up as much as possible here for the day today. And again, it should be a great game between Louisiana Tech and Coastal Carolina. All right. So that's here for the day today. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve, temperatures get warmer, especially in the afternoon, into the 60s now. Again, we could touch 50 degrees today. Tomorrow, we will definitely be over 60 degrees. So if you're sticking around here, or if you live here, temperatures be a lot more on the cooler on the cool side of things overall, but warming up in the warming trend of things. But if you do notice, heading into the nighttime hours, that's when you'll probably need the sweatshirt back out. There's a difference between being in the 40s and being sunny like it is today, and then being in the 40s and being chilly and cold overall. And that's pretty much what we have through New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, that combination of things. Essentially, the first few minutes into 2026, temperatures will be in the mid-40s there for you. So not as cold as what some of the overnights have been, especially between the last two mornings now, including this one. But it's still going to be essentially enough to make you grab out the sweatshirt, okay? Yeah. So please bundle up still for those nights. But I will say, clear skies. Wind should also be nice and calm. That's almost perfect weather for firing out fireworks here for you, pretty much. Just be very careful. The only thing I will mention about the fireworks in and of itself is our ground is highly dry. Some of the burn bans are in effect as well, so please take care of the fireworks, okay? Make sure they're in order, all right? That's all I'm going to say about that. Temperatures actually for the morning on New Year's Day getting into the 40s before in the afternoon. It does reach the mid to upper 60s for you then. Will be a almost t-shirt and shorts kind of day just for New Year's Day in and of itself before temperatures warm up more and more. We'll look at that thoroughly first on the 7-day forecast, and then I will go ahead and give you a preview of the 12-day forecast after this. But let you see the full thing here for you. All right, so for today, 50 degrees, sunshine, plenty of blue skies. Taking that biggest jump up into the temperature here for tomorrow, but still a cold morning tomorrow morning. Some of those lows are definitely going to be in the 30s here to still start off Wednesday. Then we get into later on this week where we get mornings off in the 50s starting off here for Friday morning. And then speaking of Friday, yeah, highs could reach the mid-70s by the time we reach the end of the week here for January 2nd. Highs are in the 60s for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day in the afternoon hours, reaching the 70s briefly for Friday. Then we have that brief cold front coming on through here after Friday, which is going to cool us down by a solid 10 degrees into the weekend. Highs are only in the 60s here for Saturday and Sunday. Even though it is a cold front coming on through, it will be dry. I will say it will be giving rain out to areas to our east. Monroe maybe catching on to a brief shower or two. And if you're headed out towards Jackson, for example, for that weekend, that could Mississippi could be seeing some rain from that same cold front that hits on Friday. But that rainfall that is a part of the cold front looks to pretty much miss the Arklatex for you then. And highs could maybe reach 70 degrees briefly here for Monday, heading into early part of next week here for you. So a cool forecast, definitely warmer than average, but you see on the grand scale of things remain cool. We don't have multiple days where we have 70 degrees for highs each and every day. And on top of that, I don't think we touch 80. I don't think we touched 80. I don't hope we don't touch 80 either. Anyways, here's your full 12-day forecast now. And the reason why I want to pull this out is because I do expect a trend change, mainly in the skies. I think we do get rain back somewhere in this 12-day forecast. Now, again, we have 0% chance of rain here today. That goes all the way, yes, through Monday. We could get more dry days into the middle of next week, but I'm looking out for somewhere around the middle to late part of next week, maybe towards Thursday, Friday. I'm looking out for a good rain system to come on through with some scattered storms and a cold front. That's going to keep, as of right now, it's going to keep our highs pretty much tattooed into the 60s. It kind of, again, limits how much we warm up, so to speak. I don't think I see multiple days of 70s and definitely not touching 80 degrees next week. The point of which stands, no substantial long warm trend or very warm continuation of the temperatures here, essentially into the middle of next week. So we'll be watching out for that little bit of rain coming back here again next week. But as for the next 7 days, it's looking dry. At least the 12-day forecast is looking a little more optimal. And to be fair, again, we do need rain. Last thing I do want to show you here, and I promised you I'd show you this earlier, is the drought monitor. And this comes out every single Thursday, so this is technically 5 days old, and it hasn't really rained at all since last Thursday. So the point of which stands is that this drought is beginning to get worse, and especially with the next 7 days being dry, watch out for a lot more dry conditions, a little more burn bans potentially, which is a little rare to find in December and early January. But they are in place, as you see about just about half of the Arklatex finds itself in this kind of tan shade, so to speak, in this moderate drought. A lot more of that is across the southern half of the Arklatex than the northern half, but still pretty much slight drought is in effect pretty much everywhere around the region here for now. So we need rain. It's great. Look, it's great to have this abundant sunshine out and about, especially now, and for us to enjoy out and around, especially with holiday festivities, the fireworks tomorrow, the bowl game today in just over 2 hours. That's going to be phenomenal. But eventually, we do need rain back here in order to help out our soil and help out our ground, honestly, first and foremost. That's all I got here for the first Start With A Breakdown here for the day today. I will be back tomorrow. With a full check of your forecast for you then. We're going to go more into details on the temperature trends. We'll go furthermore into how New Year's Eve night will be. Maybe the temperature forecast changes for them, but overall I'm expecting 40s here for tomorrow night. We'll get into it all. Also, for those of you who have been missing CJ Cartledge on this podcast as well, I know it's been me continuously for a week and a half since Christmas week. Thursday, CJ will be back on the first Start With A Breakdown. I will be off work Thursday and Friday for New Year's Eve. For New Year's Day, and the day after that. I believe CJ's going to have his weekly trivia segment on this coming Thursday as well. I love that. I love him being able to set that up for you guys and, get some good interaction with that. But anyways, that's kind of the rundown here for the rest of this week. I'm First Start meteorologist Evan Thomas, and thank you very much again for watching the First Start With A Breakdown. You have a great rest of your day, especially if you're headed out to the bowl game. Great matchup today. Will be fantastic. I'll see you there. Just a little bit. Anyways, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the last few moments, few days, day and a half left of 2025. I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 on the same podcast. Be there, be square, and most importantly, hey, stay weather aware. Have a great rest of your day.